Doug, I think that is an excellent idea to talk with our fellow nerds about what's next.
Bring it up. Here come the theories, folks. All right, my theory is that this was all a dream. It was all a dream by Bo-Katan. The entire season, that's why seemed a little bit off. It was her dream because she had to become... No, I don't know.
She's going to wait.
She's going to open up. She's still sitting in her chair like a weirdo with her legs up and opens her eyes like, that would have been so cool if we would have taken back Mandalore. Anyway.
And he's like shaking her. He's shaking her. He's like, man, I got to get back to Mandalore. What's wrong with you? I gotta go wait. Yeah, the whole season ended right there when he walked in the throne room.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
Then she's like, oh, Din. Oh, yeah, what do you need? Come on.
Does anybody follow the fandom says that... Oh, the Attack on Show said, does anyone really die in Star Wars? Han Solo died.
Yoda died.
Han Solo was trying to die after friggin' episode 5.
Yeah.
You know who else died? Like those thousands of workers on the second Death Star, because it wasn't completed yet. There was janitors, construction workers, all those peoples were killed by the terrorist rebels. I mean, they're all dead. I don't see anyone weeping for them.
Never forget.
Well, I wouldn't say... You can't say Yoda died. He still had a Force ghost,
But he's dead. It was a Force ghost. Or do live people usually have ghosts floating around?
Like, even if you die, you still come back as a Force ghost. I think that's what he's saying. So, not the end.
But you got to be dead to have a ghost. So if they're dead, they just... Okay.
He lived on in spirit.
Yes.
But Han Solo didn't. Han Solo died, and that was it.
Yep.
Except in the next Rey movie, the clone of Han Solo is going to come and...
And he's going to be the Red Hulk. And
So, getting back to our, before we tangent off again, getting back to our TheoryPalooza / what's next for The Mandalorian. So this last episode really kind of wrapped it all up, put a nice little bow, even did the That's All Folks little Looney Tunes circle, and it was like a little off-putting. I'm like, okay, that was strange.
I didn't like that either, to tell you the truth.
But I assume they were doing all of that because either A, they do not want this to be a serialized series anymore. They want it to be episodic where they can just do whatever the hell they want, and he can go on little adventures, and they've got their bad guy of the week, episode where, here's the issue, Din Djarin and Grogu are going off to get the bounty on this, this Imperial guy and turn it in, and okay, that's the episode, and they don't have to worry about an overarching story, which, I mean, I guess if that's the direction they want to go in, maybe they feel that that's what's best. I hope that's not the case, but...
See, I think you're absolutely wrong. I don't think this is going to go episodic.
I hope it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. I hope it doesn't. But it feels like they're setting it up to do that.
It does, but what I think is going to happen is while Din is, working freelance for the New Republic and kind of bringing in some of these Imperials, these, remnant Imperials kind of out in the rim, he's going to uncover a plot. He's going to find out about things about the Shadow Council or the strength of the Imperials that are out there. It's going to feel a little episodic at first, but I think there's going to be an overarching story, not just in The Mandalorian Season 4, but in Ahsoka, it's going to tie in. If we get a Rangers of the New Republic or a Song of Bo-Katan, things are going to be going on, and they'll be very sort of episodic episodes in those series, but little things are going to hint towards that big, because they announced a movie that's going to be wrapping up what I'm going to call, I don't want to call it chapters or phases, because that's what MCU and DCU do, but it's going to wrap up this next character arc which is probably going to be Thrawn bringing back, being heir to the Empire. So I do think, while it seems like it's going to go episodic, we're just going to get, Din Grogu and Din Djarin.
Kind of episodes.
Yeah. It's going to him uncovering information to sniff this out.
You know what show handled that really well? Smallville. It hit the button. Where not everything in each episode fed into the main story, but there were elements in every episode that moved the main story along, even though it had episodic episodes. Episodic episodes? Or is it anthology episodes?
No, anthology would imply that you've got the same actors, but they're playing different characters.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the proper word, but...
Yeah, no, episodic is correct.
I would say the weekly episodes, but you still fed into the main storyline. That show did that very well.
So, what do you call that, where it's like a healthy mix between is it semi-serialized? Maybe that would be the word?
Yeah, maybe. You know what other show did it extremely well? Veronica Mars. I don't know if anyone else here watched that, but they had like a mystery of the week every week, and then each season had its overarching mystery. And I'm really hoping that's where we're going with this. You get, going to get, this Imperial warlord or this guy, or, hunting down this guy, and new evidence gets uncovered and basically kind of starts bringing all this story together so we can get that, team-up movie with Dave Filoni.
It's like the whole season is a puzzle, and each episode is a little piece of that puzzle. And you can do that over seasons.
Oh, yeah. And you know what show did it really, really bad? The anime Bleach. My God, they did that so horrible. Anybody anybody who's watched Shonen Jump anime from the early 2000s, they would give you like 2 really plot heavy episodes, and it'd be like this really deep into the story. This dude steals this power that can basically turn him into a god, and then the next episode, there's a ghost on the loose. We're gonna go into a haunted house. And it's like, what?
It's like
what
you're
happened
watching
to
Family Guy.
The dude, he was just he's gonna murder the world, and I don't want this episode. And then you gotta wait an entire week, and then you find out they're doing another, episodic tangent, and it's like, what? That doesn't matter. And then you're thinking, okay, amazing season finale. I can't wait for the next season. It's gonna be great. And then the entire next season had nothing to do with that overarching story, and instead it was a complete non-canon season. And I'm like, why though?
Now, Attack on Show made a point where he said the ending was a reset, talking about The Mandalorian Season 3. And I don't know if we were talking about it during the stream or before, I honestly think that if there was a bunch of meddling from Lucasfilm with this story, this was Jon Favreau getting his way. He wanted to bring it back down to where they started. It's Din doing his thing, which I think 99% of the Mandalorian fans want. I liked Bo-Katan this season, but she kind of took over as a main character during this season, and I think it would have played better for the season if she was still there, but Din was more the main character, like we're going to get next season. Bo can get her own show. I'm certainly okay with that. I want to know what's going on with Mandalore and the rebuild. I want to know what's going on with Zeb and Captain Teva. Are they things building there that they're handling that could tie into the story? Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra. All of these things are out there now, and I just I'm hopefully optimistic that Favreau and Filoni have mapped this all out, how they want it all to go. And they are going to get no interference from the studio saying, could we have maybe this guy show up? You know what we need? We need Luke Skywalker to show up. Again, that really played well in Season 2, which I would be all for it if it worked for the show. But if they try to force it in, it's not going to work. The reason it worked so well at the end of season 2, because they worked for it. They made it happen.
So here's my next theory for the next season.
All right.
I think they're going to do another time jump. So I don't think the next season is going to start right where we left off in this one. I think they're going to jump ahead like a year or two, because one of the things that I think us as fans really appreciated about Navarro was seeing how it changed over time once, Din Djarin and friends saved the day and got rid of the Imperials and our what is his title again? Our
High Magistrate.
High Magistrate, that was it. And the High Magistrate taking control of things. I think we're going to do a bit of a time jump, and we're going to see where Mandalore is after some time has passed. I also think it'll give them an opportunity to age up the Grogu puppet a little bit, make him just a tad taller, because it's either they make him a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, or they get him another mech suit, because, I mean, that's kind of crappy to do that to him. Finally give him some autonomy, let him walk around and move on his own, and then immediately take it away. Like, I know a lot of people complained about it, but I thought that was nice for him. And then to take that away and never give him the opportunity to be able to move around on his own to keep up with his now father, that's kind of a crappy thing to do. So either they're going to have to age him up a bit, or they're going to have to get him a new mech suit.
You know what?
I hope they don't do the mech suit.
When they bring Mandalore back, you know what their chief export's going to be? Glass.
Oh, wow.
No Mandalorians here to get mad at me for that one.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I guess they could. Speaking of that, tangent fun fact for you all, because we're getting ready to do another moon mission. Did you know that moon dust is as sharp as glass?
No, I did not know that.
Yes, because it doesn't have the same gravitational forces, and there's no wind to wear it down and soften it up. So they showed images of the spacesuits of people who had walked on the moon, and they're like really torn up. Yeah, moon dust is incredibly corrosive and very sharp like glass.
Well, did you
That's
know...
good to know.
Yeah.
Did you know that I have as much authority as the Pope, just not as many people who believe it?
Yeah. Do you also wear red shoes like the Pope?
Occasionally.
I always took you for a
Depends on
red
what
shoe
shirt
guy.
I'm wearing.
So finally, fandom says, going back to the Mandalorian, the TheoryPalooza. Sorry, Keith, to make you change it back so suddenly. It's like, must be like whiplash. But
Clicking those buttons on my
fandom
phone is very
says-
difficult.
And by the time it comes back, it will be 3 years. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see, like,
Too bad.
anywhere from a year to 3. Like, the only thing is, I don't think they're going to jump too far, because like what Keith and Dave were saying earlier, I do think that it is going to tie into some of these other series. I know that they do want to create that separation, but the thing is, being able to do these crossover episodes, those are big deals. They generally work, unless you're, the CWDC episodes. Then they're really bad and
If
cringy.
you build the story, they work.
Yes. And the Star Wars series, they're really good about that. So, I think elements of Ahsoka could bleed into The Mandalorian. And so you don't want to jump it too far ahead, because, then you limit that ability to, have those little crossover episodes where we would get to hang out with our buddy for an episode or two.
Yeah, like the Flash was on Arrow.
Yeah.
Until they just overdid that to the point where it became...
Did you guys see the recent crossover episodes with I don't know if it was CW or what this was on. I just saw some videos popping up on YouTube. It was Beast Boy going into the multiverse with the CW's Flash and hanging out with Stargirl and stuff.
Yeah, that
Is
was
this
on
the Beast Boy from
Titans.
Titans?
That was
Yeah.
on Titans?
It's-
Okay, I wasn't sure where that came from. I stopped watching Titans, so...
So did I. I saw the thing and I was like, I'm glad. I finally made the right decision and stopped watching a show I disliked instead of thinking, this is going to get better. This is going to get better.
Sierra
It did. Didn't it feel like one of those CW crossover episodes where it's like, why? Why are you doing this? It's not even cool anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really
Sierra,
isn't.
see, look in the chat. Sierra says Titans is so good she's still watching it.
What? No. She's joking. She's gotta be.
Sarah, are you joking? Are you watching
She's
Gotham
serious.
Knights too?
She likes it. She's not watching Gotham Knights.
It's been pretty
Well-
canon to the what?
Not
Okay.
really. It has
Right.
some elements from the comics that is canon, but they have rushed through storylines and have not let them build up properly. They are racing to
Got
get to the
kill
cool
that
stuff.
Robin. Hurry up. Episode 3. Kill that Robin.
Oh my God, the Joker killed Robin, even though we haven't seen the Joker in any of our episodes or been introduced. But he just killed this Robin, and now he's going and he's going to be brought back to life in the Lazarus pit. Oh, and don't forget, we're going to heat up the Lazarus pit so it goes in the clouds and brings everyone back in Gotham that were killed.
Whatever.
Well,
Yeah, she said-
Sarah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's certainly not for me.
Well, I asked her to come back because Doug was talking anime a minute ago, and I think she might know the show you're talking about.
Oh, Bleach?
What?
Yeah, everybody knows Bleach.
Sierra, you
Like,
know,
like I said, that was early 2000s.
And I did finish season 3, Sierra. I watched like 2 episodes of season 4, and I finally decided it's not worth my time to watch it. I have my time to watch television shows is limited with the 9 to 5, the kids, the side hustle, and everything else, and it just was not. I would rather sleep for that 45 minutes than watch Titans. I would rather read than watch Titans. I would rather play video games than watch Titans. It just wasn't worth my time.
would you rather sit on the toilet than watch Titans?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a ringing endorsement.
Sierra says, I know Bleach, I didn't get into it. And, it can be very difficult to get into. The only reason why I actually like the series is because I started watching it well after a lot of the main episodes had aired. Like, it had originally aired. I think it was dubbed and aired on, what was that? Toonami on Cartoon Network. And, so when I did start watching it, I was basically streaming it before streaming was a thing. And I was able to, once I realized, oh, this is a BS episode that doesn't matter to the story, I can skip past this one. Or when I found out an entire season didn't matter, I was able to skip past that and move on to the next season. So that made it more tolerable of a watch. If I had gotten into it back when it originally aired, I would have dropped off. There's no way that I would have been able to stick with it because it was really cringy, it was really bad, except for the main story, which was phenomenal. And it had really great voice acting. But while I've got this anime soapbox real quick, anybody who does want to give it a chance, please check out Goblin Hunter. If you like The Mandalorian, you'll love Goblin Hunter. I'm not even joking.
If I wanted to check out Goblin Hunter, where would I find it, Douglas?
You could find it on Crunchyroll and I think Hulu too.
Okay, I'll check it
You
out.
can
I
probably
like.
even find somebody probably uploaded episodes on YouTube as well.
Whenever somebody calls me a troll, I call them a goblin.
It's
Do you get called troll a
It's-
lot?
funny. So
in the past.
you remember how much Din Djarin hated droids in the first season?
Yes.
Well, that is
Goblin.
Goblin Hunter with goblins. Only that's like the only thing he wants to do. So this takes place in like basically like a D&D game. So nobody has a name. They're all just known by their archetypes. So like Goblin Hunter is a Goblin Hunter, and then there's Lizard Man, there's Mage Girl, and then it's like that's their names. But they're like, hey, so you gonna take this mission to go hunt these ogres? Are there goblins? No. Then no. All right, man.
It's like the Irish for foreign wars, right? It's like you're gonna go fight that war, and they say, well, there'll be beer there when we get there. Well, no. Well, then you won't be finding the likes of me over there.
Okay, all right, yes, here, I forgot about that. The first episode is incredibly messed up. It is much better after that, I promise.
As messed up as the last 5 minutes. No. Is it as traumatic as the last 5 minutes of the first episode of Invincible?
It is probably worse than that.
Oh wow! See, now I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's really do not watch with kids. It is really bad.
Sully, do you want to watch Goblin Hunter tonight?
Yeah, I believe in I want to say on Crunchyroll they ended up re-releasing the first episode with like a lot more censorship because it was so bad.
All right. Well,
like, it was unnecessarily bad. I'll even put it that I'll go that far to say the animators did not need to do what they did.
And I'm so intrigued now.
People would say the same thing about Invincible.
And that's the thing. I'm interested and I want to watch it, and I will probably hate myself for not listening to you guys.
And yes, Sierra is correct. It does. So like I said, that is the first episode. The rest of the series, though, is kind of funny because of his obsession with only going after goblins.
Well, the guy's got a focus. He knows what his purpose is. And, good for him.
Well, the thing is, like, he also comes up with, like, creative ways to kill them that are pretty terrible. And people are even like, look, man, goblins are bad, but you did not have to do that. That was kind of over the top. And so they, like, give him a list of, okay, you can't drown them, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he's like, oh, you're really limiting the ways that I can kill goblins.
It's like, he doesn't come into this universe fumbling around for meaning.
No,
he's like a me-seeks. You hit the button and they have an assignment.
He's a who?
A me-seeks.
And I'm playing the Rick and Morty theme.
Oh, yeah. Sierra is absolutely correct. The goblins do all of it, and it explains why he hates them so much. Yes, it does, because they are truly horrific to the people, and it's weird because in that world, they a lot of the people are like, oh, it's just goblins. They're no big deal. They're like starter monsters. If you're a brand new adventurer, that's what you go and hunt. It's like World of Warcraft or whatever. And nobody really takes them seriously, except for this guy who has devoted his entire life to studying all of their movements and everything.
It's like a Varix. That's where you start hunting. You know what a Varix is, right? That's another Rick and Morty reference, thank you. Because tonight, we celebrate with the hunt.
Oh, God.
Tomorrow, we hunt.
Oh my God, that episode where Jerry was dating that one chick from...
Yeah, from Crotabula.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that. Okay.
I'm in Cholo. Yes, I know all these references.
And fatherly fandom makes a good point. Stories often start out in tragedy and trauma. I have a conversation with my wife regularly where she gets upset about shows when too much bad things happen. I'm like, well, the heroes have to rise up to it, save the day. And she just wants a show where nothing bad ever happens. And I'm like, I don't think people would watch it, but she would love it.
Yeah, there's got to be conflict for people to watch.
Yeah. Fatherly Fandom says a great movie you should all check out is Project Horror. Okay. Sounds good. Where can we see this movie, Project Horror Attack on Show?
Yeah, that sounds like... Oh, did you do a video where you were reviewing it or like talking about it? That sounds very familiar.
Hulu. Excellent. So I have Goblin Hunter and Project Horror to check out. I love horror movies. No one else in my family does. Well, my daughter says she does. But, we got a link. Excellent.
Okay.
Project Horror sounds like my Saturday night. Nothing? All right. Oh, and there's the Project Horror link. All right, we're all hooked up. If you're in the chat, click on those links.
Nice.
And if you're if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put those links in the details.
Oh, it's Robbie's movie. Wow, I definitely.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I didn't know it was out. I had seen him talking about it. For some reason, I didn't think it was out yet. I will definitely watch it.
Yeah, of course.
I look forward to seeing it now.
Sierra. Oh, Keith, please don't watch Comet Hunter. I'm. You know what? Everybody make your own decisions. It's like I said. Yes, Sierra's absolutely correct. Very horrific scenes, but.
Oh, Sierra's going to want a full description of your reaction to the show if you do watch it.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Oh, God.
Maybe we'll talk about it on one of our streams. You know, don't have a lot of stuff coming up. I think it would definitely be cool to talk about Attack on Show's movie. He's a great YouTuber. If you're out there and you're not subscribed to Attack on Show, Fatherly Fandom, you need to do so now. Gentlemen, throw your YouTube channels in the chat.
Shirt there, Keith?
Oh, it is my Attack on Show hoodie.
Oh, nice! Wow.
I was actually meaning. Unfortunately, I got too busy this afternoon, but I was going to go out and buy a Fatherly Fandom and an Attack on Show T-shirt because it's starting to warm up, and I think hoodie season is almost over. So I definitely need to get some new T-shirts. Maybe a TG T-shirt
that's
too.
A good idea. I should pick up an Attack on Show T-shirt. I've got an Attack on Show hoodie and I've got a Fatherly Fandom T-shirt. But I should get an Attack on Show T-shirt.
Do we have a link that we can put up for their swag shops or their channels?
Well, Attack on Show just put his YouTube channel in there, so if you're not already subscribed, please do. Yeah, and Fatherly Fandom, Attack on Show, if you could drop your merch stores in there. Our merch store was just dropped with a press of a button. Thank you, OBS.
I should
definitely do it.
Making some new designs. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything new.
Well,
It's
you're
always
very
good to
creative. I can't wait to see it.
Yep, I agree. But we are talking about what's next for the Mandalorian.
Oh,
Should we
were we?
should we get out of tangent time? Well, I
probably should.
I just have one more thing that I personally want to talk about. I think we're going to see a little bit more of Grogu being trained in the Force, and I don't think it'll be with Luke. I think he is going to do some independent study, or maybe even Ahsoka is going to point him in some right places. I think we may see Din Grogu and Din Djarin going to a Jedi temple, getting a Jedi holocron of some type. I think he is going to continue to grow in the Force because I think as he is going on missions with his dad, he's going to find out he's got this weapon that he's not using to its full effect, and I think he's going to want to, because not many people have the Force. Moff Gideon was willing to clone himself and try to put the Force in it, where he has it, and he's obviously pretty strong in it. So I think we're going to get Grogu growing, training in the Force, getting more powerful. And I think the reason that they actually destroyed the Darksaber is because he's going to build his own lightsaber. I think that is going to be something that Ahsoka or, the David Tennant robot, I forget his name, it's like Hunan, or the one who, we saw in the Ahsoka trailer who did it in the Clone Wars for the younglings. He may work with Grogu to build his own lightsaber. And I think eventually, I'm glad they're not rushing it. I'm glad we didn't get Grogu in full Mandalorian armor yet, with the dark saber, knocking people down. Build up to it. I think he's going to have his own lightsaber that he built. I think he's eventually going to get that armor. And I can't wait to see it play out. Air Paul is streaming? Who is Air Paul?
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, enjoy it. We'll hopefully see you later, Miss Sierra. Do you think other Jedis will be introduced, survivors of Order 66? I think so. we have so many now. We have, Cal Kestis, we have Kanan Jarrus, we have Grogu, we got Ahsoka, even though she wasn't really a Jedi. It sounds like Balon from the Ahsoka show is going to be a survivor of Order 66. And I'm certainly not saying there's too much, because, there's tens of thousands of Jedi in the galaxy, and, a few hundred could survive. That's not...
Palpatine was going to miss a handful of them.
Yeah. So if we do get some other survivors, I hope it's maybe a mix of ones we haven't seen before, maybe some ones we have seen before, like Gunji. Be nice to see him again. Yep. I don't know if he's lived this long, but Wookiees can, and if he's been able to hide and do the things he needs to do. So I think we'll get a spattering of Order 66 survivors, and I think we're going to get, much like especially in Rey's movie, some new Jedi, some younglings, some people, adapting the Force that will be joining that.
And they have an Order 66 survivor support group. They all get together on Saturdays,
And then I was standing there. I was about to take out like 15 battle droids in this sweet move I was working on in the Jedi Temple, and all of a sudden the clones started blasting me. What is going on? We're on the same side, guys.
He's gonna walk in with the hood like this, starts killing people. And then I saw this Reva chick. She left, man. She just took off.
I had to save my... Yeah, we had to save... My Padawan was running. I had to take all the fire so he could escape. Oh my god, it was horrible.
And then the one Jedi Master, he just saved the little green dude. Didn't save the rest of us. What the heck was that?
Yeah.
It's a weird eyes, too, that guy. I thought he was going to come get me.
He haunts my dreams to this day.
Good guy Palps. Let a few go. Good guy Palps. Papa Palpatine.
All right, so our theories so far are... So I've said there's probably going to be a time jump, and it's possible that it may be a little bit more episodic. It could be semi-serialized based on what Dave suggested, and that's possible too. There could be an overarching story, but yeah, I think my theory is that it's going to be a little bit more episodic. Your theory is that Grogu is going to train more heavily in the Force, possibly by some other Jedi, and that he'll build his own lightsaber. Now, do you think that he's going to be aged up a bit, or do you think it's going to be still baby Grogu that we've been dealing with?
I hope he's aged up a little bit. The cute little baby puppet is kind of starting to border on jumping the shark. And I hope they age it up, and I hope we...
Somersault air.
Yes.
They should age him up like Groot. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
Not all at once. You know what I mean?
Give us a sort of a mean little teenage Grogu that just wants to play his video games.
Right. Whoa, jeez. What are you... Look at the mouth on that guy, huh?
Din Grogu, let's go. We have a bounty. Again? We just got back. I just sat down. I just wanted to eat some chips, Dad. Christ.
I eat chips now.
Oh yeah, that was something else I was going to ask. Do you think, since we heard the way Yaddle spoke and she was like totally not Kermit the Frog,
all right,
with backward speak, do you think, for whatever reason, they're going to have Grogu speak like that, just like as an in-universe Easter egg, like, hey, you like Yoda's voice? We're going to make him do it. Or do you think he's going to have a more, like normalized, sort of like Yaddle?
I think he's going to be more like Yaddle, because he's around people speaking normally. So I think he'll pick up, like, you're born in the South, you pick up that Southern dialect. I need to get some proper shade need to get some proper leisure time under a shade tree.
I'm gonna drink some soda, right, Keith? You gonna drink some soda?
That's right. And Din Grogu, stop using all the hot water in the shower. What are you doing in there? Why do you have the Jedi Temple's pictures of Yaddle with you in there? What is going on?
Oh, God. Nothing, Dad. Stay out of my private stuff. God.
Will he speak in riddles? Besides the accent, will he speak in riddles? The Yoda way.
And Yoda was just messing with everyone. He just kept it going. He was too deep in. He couldn't stop at that point. Everyone was just like, well, I guess that's just the way he speaks. Stuck with this, I am.
Yes, exactly.
Weirdo, they think I am.
Okay, Yaddle is not Grogu's mom. No.
How can she not be? There's only 2 of them in the galaxy. How can she not be his mom?
But there's others outside of the galaxy.
You know
Maybe
what's funny?
any of his species that
Yoda
is shown
is
with the
like,
Force.
Green chicks I'm not into.
Wasn't she yellow, though? She's yellow.
Yeah, she is kind of
Just
yellow.
the way she
You're
was
right.
animated, Dave. Or hold on, how did Jessica Rabbit put it? I'm just drawn that way.
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Attack on Show. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Have a good day at work. We'll definitely be checking out Project Horror on Hulu, YouTube, wherever we can. We look forward to it. So
I was going to make and I totally forgot it. And I'm just sitting there trying to... I know I look stupid on screen going, but I'm just trying to think of what I was going to say. It was about...
Dave, you should have just went all into it, and that should have just been your new face. I guess that's just Dave. It's just the way he looks. We'll 100 years from now on your tombstone, it's going to be like, Dave, yeah, that was just his face.
Holy crap, you just reminded me of something. I'll be right back.
Oh.
I told you guys what I wanted on my tombstone, right?
What?
I told you I was sick. And Fatherly Fandom says, I wonder if the Yoda species is going to be from the beyond, since it's more magic-centric part of the universe. I think you're right. I have thought about that a lot. Obviously, we don't see them anywhere else. We've seen Yoda, we've seen Yaddle, and we've seen Grogu. And those are the only 3 we've seen, where we've seen every other species on every other planet, everywhere else. There isn't, senators back in the prequels of Yodas. We've only seen 3. So why these 3 are...
ETs, we haven't seen other Yodas.
And yeah, it would have definitely explained. And I know that George Lucas never wanted to fully explain their species or go into it too much. He wanted it always to be a mystery. So maybe we will find out.
That?
No, I don't think they will. I think it would kind of take away some of the, mystery with that species. I mean, if Grogu was seen, if Grogu's species and Yoda species was seen all the time, when they showed him at the end of the first episode, it wouldn't have been as hard hitting. Like if that would have been a little Rhodian kid, it'd have been like, hey, look, it's Greedo, baby Greedo. Wouldn't have hit as hard. So I don't think they ever will. I think exactly. This show sucks. Click.
It's just knockoff Boba Fett with baby Greedo. Yuck.
I wonder what Dave had to do. I wonder what he
He had to go finish purchasing his tombstone from Costco.
Oh, that's right.
They're on sale this week.
But like we were talking about, I really hope in that first episode of season 4, like I was talking about, some overarching mystery. I hope we find something out. Episode 1, like he's tracking down. Maybe it's an Imperial officer who's like running wild, or it's someone comes to Navarro. I couldn't think of the planet's name. And like IG-88 sort of captures, or not IG-88, IG-11 stops him. And then he finds out, and he like, High Magistrate, Karga comes in. Hey, I think you better come see what we found on this guy or something, and that leads into, the bigger mystery, because I just don't think it'll have the same appeal if it's episodic.
I don't think it will either. That's what I'm afraid of. Again, I'm being like you, with your last theory. I don't want it to happen just because I'm theorizing that it might. It just feels like the way that they wrapped it up, but they didn't bother to hint at anything else. Like, they tied up all the potential loose ends. The armor, Axwos, totally good. They're not the spies. They're on the side. Mandalore is going to come back. They can grow, they can grow crops on the planet. They took it back. They've got probably some, whatever didn't get blown up. They've got some Imperial tech that they can reuse, sort of like that one Mandalorian had, a pauldron that was made out of a battle droid. So, like, it seems like they really wrapped everything up to the point where it has the potential to do anything, but they didn't set anything up. So,
well, and I think they did that to wrap up this arc in like a nice little bow. Say, okay, this is the end of the first arc, and then it'll start building it up in the next arc.
I'm sure that's what they were trying to do, but again, they also didn't bother to try and set anything else up.
Right, I know, and I'm telling you that I think they did it as a way to say complete separation of the arcs, kind of like at Endgame we didn't get that post-credit scene for anything for the multiverse because they're like, okay, this is this, and then as soon as this starts, because
I see what you're saying. Okay,
because we know that they're building towards the Filoni movie, and I pray they have it mapped out how they want to get there. Otherwise, we're going to get the sequel trilogy all over again.
Mapping it out, baby.
And yes, you're right, Fatherly Fandom. He definitely is going to need a bigger ship if he's back to bounty hunting. Because I don't think you can just tie the bounty up to the back of that N1 starfighter and fly it back.
I mean, you could. You shouldn't. But you could.
I mean, hey, Drax did it okay in Guardians of the Galaxy, so yeah, he might be.
That's true.
Might be able to do that with anybody.
What? Oh, I just came up with a new theory.
Here it comes.
Okay, what if Din Djarin becomes the new guild leader on Navarro, since High Magistrate Greef Karga is no longer in charge of the guild? He's now the High Magistrate. He doesn't have time to be, issuing bounties and, taking things. What if Din Djarin becomes the new guild master, and he's got a whole team of bounty hunters that he's working with? So that way he has time. He has time to take Din Grogu on his journey, or whatever it is that the armor called it, and still do the bounty hunting thing, kind of like, what he promised. What's his name? Okay, Dave is totally reeling me in. That is not going to happen. Okay.
No,
why not?
I don't think he's that much of a team player. The whole reason he wanted to go back to bounty hunting is because he liked being alone, and now he likes being alone with Grogu. That may have came out wrong, but he.
Oh God! I wouldn't even.
The whole reason was to get away from the group thing. You know what I mean? It was. The whole thing was to get away from the group thing. So I don't think he's going to be leading any other group.
And I don't think that would be as good a show if he's just sitting around passing out bounties and waiting for them to come back. Here's a bounty. Go get that guy. And he's like, so, Greef, how's it been going?
How's it going over there, Greef?
Time to go start cooking them frog legs for Din Grogu. Let me head home. Let me take the bus home.
All right, and well, and then it becomes like one of those 80s mixed live action animated shows. While I'm cooking up this here dinner for Din Grogu, you all watch this amazing cartoon. And then they play like one of the old Ewok animated episodes.
Look at Keith's face. No.
We march at dawn. If that happens, we will take control of Lucasfilm.
Boy, Din Grogu. Boy, Din Grogu, you're already ready for seconds? Well, he's enjoying that. Let's check out this animated feature from the Star Wars Holiday Special, featuring my old pal Boba Fett.
Take a drink right after you say it, dude. There you go. All right. Come on now.
Yeah. Fatherly Fandom, it would be great to see Din Djarin, Din Grogu, IG-11 on an adventure together next season. I would love that. It probably maybe he gets dragged. Din Grogu and Din Djarin get dragged in with Grief Karga because something's up. Someone's trying to take over Navarro, something along those lines. Maybe it's an Imperial force. Maybe it's another. Probably shouldn't be another group of pirates, but could definitely be them getting the gang back together from season 1 for an adventure. Because one of the main reasons I'm happy that IG-11 is back and it's not Din Grogu in a mech suit. All he really did was walk around. I want to see that end of season.
No.
Yes.
I want to see the end of the first episode of season 1 where he's spinning and shooting and just taking everybody out. I want to see that assassin droid. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think IG-11 has run its course. I think what he's done was good. I don't think we need any more, in my opinion. Yeah.
I agree. Dave and I kind of said pretty much of that when we reviewed the first episode of the season. Like when we thought that they were going to drag out this whole mission of rebuilding IG-11, I think both of us were like, could you not though?
Yeah. It's like, it served its purpose. It was good when it happened.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I want to see more IG-11. They just gave us a little taste of it. I want to see it all. I want an entire show about IG-11.
You just want to see him like constantly open up his chest hatch and be like, my programming says that I need to blow up, and Grief Karga running up. No. We've talked about this.
Self-destruct protocol and stop. No, we're eating lunch. No one is trying to take you out.
He wanders into the school. No.
The protocol, I cannot be captured.
Yeah, Fatherly Phantom's with me. He wants to see him taking out more stormtroopers. He doesn't need to be, he doesn't need to go Bo-Katan from season 3 and be in it all, but it'd be nice to see, because, like Fatherly Phantom said, Grief and Mando have a very good relationship together. So we could see him being pulled into, things for Navarro, helping the Marshal, doing other things, maybe going off world in search of someone, a bounty for Grief. So there's a lot of potential there with him being back on Navarro and, settling down, as his base for his, bounty hunting.
They could have a gay love affair, call it Grando.
You know who we need to see show up in the next season? An adult Omega.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we've all said we don't think we're going to see a live-action Omega until after the Bad Batch is finished. We know Bad Batch Season 3 is coming next year. We know it is the final season. So I definitely think that is a possibility. We're going to find out what happened to her and how she's going to play into the whole, heir to, we'll call it until we hear otherwise, we're going to call it heir to the Empire. The Thrawn arc for the shows.
Just imagine Din Djarin. He's got a mission. He's got to go take care of this bounty, but it's going to be really tough. He's going to have to team up with someone. And then you see her, fully armored up, huge muscles. Oi! Din! Mando! I'm here to help you. My name's Omega. I'm a pretty little girl.
I've been living with Rekka since the Bad Batch were destroyed. He taught me how to work out.
That's right. He's the only one that lived. Me and Rekka.
Oh, and Fatherly Phantom says maybe we have already seen an adult Omega. Yeah. Where do you think we may have seen her? Kind of interested to hear your thoughts.
I know some other YouTubers have thought that Elia Kane was her, but I don't think that's the case.
No, that'd be crazy, man. That's evil.
Yeah, I can't see her working for Moff Gideon.
Unless she had some long game she was playing.
Maybe we'll find out in season 3 of the Bad Batch that since we know her sister is on Mount Tantus, Maybe she goes reaching out for any other siblings like Boba Fett. She finds out he's on Tatooine, reaches out to him to kind of connect. Or maybe we'll find out she's still at Mount Tantus. And maybe I 100% think that Thrawn is going to be using Mount Tantus in his arc. It was a big part of the Heir to the Empire books.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be using it in all of its, clones or whatever they're doing there to aid him in his, battle to take down the New Republic and, rebuild the Empire. She may still be there and she may escape with his help, or she may work for him. He may convince her that, which I hope he doesn't, but somehow she is going to show up in some way or another in live action. I don't think they introduced her with the whole mystery behind her cloning and, being one of the unaltered clones, who I don't know how she's a female and being unaltered, but we don't need to go into that. But sounds like there's at least...
Three of the Bad Batch. Thank you for playing.
It sounds like we now know that there's 3 unaltered clones, Boba Fett, Omega, and her sister. And
the current
hopefully
sister? Delta?
Yeah.
Which? Yeah.
Yeah, the one we met at the end of the Bad Batch. Season 2.
Well, I wouldn't know if I'd call it meeting her. I didn't really get a chance to talk to her, so... I don't know if I'd consider it meeting her.
Yeah, super spy, playing all sides for somebody else, 100%. And yes, we will see Tamira Morrison in a blonde wig.
Yeah, make it happen.
Let's not. No.
Oi, don't go falling in love with me, Mando.
I'll tell
I'm
you
just
what.
not ready to be in a relationship again.
Again. Not after the way Zed treated me.
Oh, God.
Star Wars love battles.
Now, how much do you bench press?
Let's go on a mission and fail. Like we always do.
Oh, God. I found some treasure. Let's get the war chest.
The war chest. Let's make sure we get the war chest. Hey, Sid, what are you doing?
All right. Any other theories, thoughts?
I mean, not really, because anything is possible at this point. Like I said, they've pretty much left it open-ended to the point where anything could happen. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go anymore. Other than all we know is, Din Djarin and Din Grogu are going to go off doing some bounties, and I guess he's going to take him on his Mandalorian journeys and, train him the way that his mentor trained him, which... who do you think his mentor was? Do you think it's somebody that you met, or do you think it's just, an offhanded comment?
Well,
I don't think it was an offhanded comment.
I would imagine that they go on one adventure, what do they call this thing? One bounty.
Okay.
And the second one, he gets wrapped up into something bigger than the bounty, and he just rolls his eyes I can't believe I'm doing this again.
I sucked into it again.
Yes, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Pull me back in.
That's exactly what I was saying when you were off camera, Dave. He's not going to be happy with it, but he's definitely going to get pulled into something bigger.
Nice, great minds.
I mean, I could see that too. Like I said, I don't really know at this point. It's so... They've left it open to pretty much anything. Anything could happen. But yeah, like I said, my for sure theory is I don't think it's going to, kick off right where we left off here. I think, a year or two is going to pass.
Give me some Cobb Vanth, too.
Yeah,
nice. We need to see him. He's been hanging out in his back to tank. And we haven't even seen a single flashback. Come on.
Right, what the hell? Boba Fett's the only one who's going to have flashbacks?
Everybody
Well, there we
knows
go.
that making armor and hanging out in a bacta tank gives you flashbacks.
Are we going to get another season of the Book of Boba Fett? And if not, where will they show up next? Fennec Shand and Boba Fett.
I thought they announced at the Star Wars celebration in London that there was going to be another season. No?
They did
I
not.
didn't hear that.
Okay, well, I know they said there was going to be another season of Obi-Wan.
They did not.
Sure.
Ewan McGregor wants one, but Kathleen Kennedy said they have no plans for a second season right now.
Well, they don't have any
Oh,
plans for
interesting.
Kathleen Kennedy right now.
So right now, the only things that we know for sure in heavy quotes is that we're going to get one final season of Bad Batch. We are probably getting another season of The Mandalorian. We're getting Ahsoka, and then what is the Lost in Space kids?
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, yeah.
That's all we know for sure.
And then we get the Acolyte.
Oh yeah,
The
the
Acolyte. Forgot about that.
and Andor season 2.
Yep.
Right,
thank
right,
you.
right. But I'm talking about like within the MandoVerse.
Oh yeah, that's all we know for sure. Yes.
But I'm positive. Hopefully they are learning from their mistakes and not announcing everything they think about, like DC used to do, just announcing everything they've even talked about, and they're making sure to get pre-production stuff done, get stuff handled before they're announcing everything.
That's why I thought that we were going to get like an end credit scene and they were going to show us something they didn't tell us about, because that seems to be more of the game that they play. Like, yeah, we'll tell you some of the things, but we're not going to give away what we really have planned. And I was waiting for that, and so I'm like going to skip it ahead, and then it got to the, the foreign language credits. I'm like, oh, so that's it. That's really, it did the whole, that's all, folks, and that was it.
Well, they didn't want to make a scene and then never reference it again. You know, they didn't want to give you a scene to think something else was coming and then never refer to it.
But I want something else to come, Dave.
Yeah, we do, yes, but they don't. They don't know where they're going.
It was funny, Doug, because I was like watching the credits, and I always know there's not an end credit on Disney Plus. If it switches to the credits, there's a tiny screen, and it has like, watch this show next.
Yeah.
And that popped up. I was like, I would have bet $1,000 that we were getting a post-credit scene. So I was pretty shocked they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said earlier, I thought for sure, like, at the very least, we would get another, scene showing something from Ahsoka. Like, we already know that that's coming. Like, I figured they would do one more thing setting that one up.
We know Thrawn's coming now. I thought for sure it'd be a Thrawn thing because they made sure that Ahsoka trailer dropped before we got to this last episode.
Yeah. But I assume they did that because they were going to verbally mention Thrawn.
I think Fennec Shand drinking at a water cooler would have been a great post-credit scene. Just like at Boba Fett's palace. Just like, it's just like that. Maybe that's just me. I'm not
working hard, hardly working.
Yeah, exactly.
Or her at the Star Wars equivalent of a vending machine.
Yeah.
Just pounding on it because she put in her Republic credit and it's not giving her her can of Bantha milk.
She could be like, yeah, look at this six-pack right here. Oh, it's not real.
And don't forget to hit us up at Twitter, leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time on Not Your Status Quo.